Alrighty, boys. Well, there was no content here for a while. That was actually because I was kind of thinking about really what I wanted to do here. Because like I said in our last recap here, I loved every minute of what I did, that first week. Um, but the thing about YouTube is that there's not, at, at least I don't have one like some kind of like plan of like a path, I should say, exactly laid out of it, exactly what you need to do, and if you just follow these steps, you'll get big on YouTube. I don't think that really exists. At least unless you're willing to do malicious stuff, but meh. But either way, you kind of just have to figure out what you want to do yourself, and that's kind of what I've been doing. Is I really loved what I made, but trying to make that level of content each and every day is not something I can do myself, at least. I could just sit around and play games all day, but the editing involved with making one of those videos takes a long time, especially for somebody like me that's not exactly super hardened on these tools. I'm pretty new on them. A lot of the times when I'm trying to figure something out, I'll fiddle with it for a while instead of just going and looking it up, trying to really just get my hands on these tools a little more, and really dig in deep to them, and try and learn them, rather than just taking some kind of shortcut and copy pasting some tutorial off YouTube. Because I just think that's a little more organic. I think it just helps me. It's kind of the way I figured a lot of stuff out as a kid, so I think it's just kind of I prefer that, when I'm really trying to learn how to do something, just for the love of it, rather than for like work or something. When I'm at work and I need to figure something out, I should Google it, because I don't care. I don't really. It's not about what I'm doing. I just need the answer so I can just finish whatever it is. But if I'm trying to learn how to edit content because I want to do it, for me, I'm gonna do it a little bit differently. I'm gonna do it a little bit more thoughtfully, and really spend my time and care. And so that's kind of what I've been doing. Since I put out the last videos, is just kind of trying to think about exactly what path I want to take, what I want to do, because I have so many things that I want to do. you know, um, I I could probably think of like 6 different whole channels that I could make. I'm doing one of like gaming, and another one of crafting, like the Soul Snowman, and doing like a podcast where I'm just sitting and talking, and you know just so much like true crime. um I've got this video going on right now. Actually, one of the things I've really been working on over the past few days is kind of like the history of not only Goodsprings that were shown in Fallout New Vegas, but the actual town in Nevada that it was based on, because the Goodsprings, Nevada, which I say it's a town, and really it's like a little unincorporated community, which just means they're too small to have government. um, it's really interesting. It's got so much history, that and a lot of it ties back to what we see in Fallout New Vegas. A lot of the like it says that in there's like an article, like a terminal article that you can read when you're going through one of the terminals in New Vegas, and it mentions that Goodsprings was started for mining, and that's exactly why Goodsprings, Nevada was started. Is that there was a pioneer at the time, I think his name was John Good, if I'm remembering right, and he was a cattleman that found silver in the area and made a store, and soon after they found some more metal in the area, named the town Goods Springs after Joseph Good, and really settled the area down into a town. And that's just one of those things where, like, Originally it was called Goods Springs, and it later evolved into Good Springs like we know it now. And that's just really interesting. Just the one of the angles that you can look at it from, that my partner mentioned, is kind of looking at the the etymology side. The where did that word come from? When you see Good Springs, you kind of assume that it's just about like the springs are good. They're positive, whatever. But it's actually just talking about Joseph Good. And that's why it had the different name, and that's just a little piece of history that you don't get just by playing the game. And so I've got this entire video planned talking about so much more than just that little piece. And so that's one of the things that I've been thinking about is, do I want to maybe move to some kind of more long form content where I'm spending a lot more time putting in my energy into one video. And I really like that idea. I have a lot of creators that I follow, like the Epic Nate and people in that realm, where they may only put out one video a month, or every couple of months. Sometimes Nate will drop off the radar for a while, but then he always comes back with the banger. So it's all worth it in the end. And I think I want to put out those kinds of videos. I really love like the high level intellectual content about gaming that really dives into it a little more and makes you think about the actual world that you're in a little deeper than you might otherwise. But I don't want to just do that. I don't want to lock myself into only doing that kind of content. Which is something that that's very easy to do. I've already been working on the script, and I've probably spent 3 or 4 days just working on the script already. And it's like, I think it's like 4.5 pages long. And I've only finished, I haven't even finished talking about the Pioneer Saloon, or the Prospector Saloon. Pioneer Saloon in real life, Prospectors in New Vegas. And that really just goes to show you just how much history is there, just how much there is to talk about. And part of what's taking so long is I'm having to cut so much of it out to make it palatable to the general audience. But I'm considering maybe after I make that full video about Good Springs and all the things inside of it, I might go back and like touch on some of the individual stories a little bit more. Because there's so much. I mean, there's so many things that happened, just relating to the Prospector Saloon, let alone Good Springs as a whole. Even the bar, like the physical bar in the saloon, has an amazing story, and that's something else that I go into in the script. And it's just it's something where you almost like take for granted the things that you see in Fallout New Vegas at first, because you just think somebody just made all this up. It's all just here because somebody just designed it. A little town and a video game. But it's got a lot of history and a lot of story tied back to it. Not all of it, but like there really is a lot of interesting history in there. So I'm really looking forward to that. And I think to kind of make myself happy with doing that kind of content, I want to supplement that with some kind of more of a like the same kind of gaming content that I've been doing. Still playing 7 Days, Diablo, Valheim. Keep playing those same games, keep those series going. But I think for now, until I have a little bit more help on the editing side, I might make those more, just less edited, just cut out parts where I'm not talking. Because I mean, I'm still funny. I don't necessarily need to amp up, all the humor with editing and make it better. It's still watchable content if I just cut out all the um, silence. And so that's kind of just, what I've been thinking about is that what I want to do, because I think that might be a good way for me to still be, putting content out on a consistent basis, still be within, the algorithm, getting, things pushed to viewers so that, people actually, see what's going on. And, when I put out that Good Springs video that I'm going to put so much time and effort into, I might actually, have an audience to show it to, instead of just kind of posting it on Reddit and, letting it be what it'll be and hoping it does well. Because, I mean, for now, it's kind of the goal, that, I've got, like, in the back of my mind, I might pull a Ludwig and, donate to some, popular streamer and link them the video and get them to watch it and drive traffic that way. But I don't exactly have the money to spare for stuff like that, so we'll see. And that's kind of the other thing, is that I can only do this for so long. At some point I gotta just pivot and just go back into the general workforce for a while. But till we get there, I just want to hang out with you guys, and just make interesting content, just kind of see what it's gonna be, because like I said in the last recap, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. I would much rather put my heart and soul into sitting here and making gaming content and the Good Springs video and 7 other projects, rather than spend one more day fixing some other person's computer or some BS like that. That's just not how I want to spend my life. I wanna make things. I wanna entertain people. I wanna make art. Yeah, I mean, that's another thing that I've been working on in the meantime. Obviously, Christmas is coming up, and I've been trying to figure out exactly what I wanted to make for other people, and so I worked on a bunch of individual stuff. Some of the stuff I've already showed off, like in the last recap, I showed off the Eye of Sauron earrings, which I called Eye of Mordor, like I always do, because it's the Tower of Mordor, I believe. But it's the Eye of Sauron sitting on top. So I made those earrings. I've also made some lighthouse earrings that I think are gonna be really awesome for my partner's mom. And not only that, I actually made a really beautiful Pulp Fiction piece in like this really nice grayscale palette with just a little bit of color in it for, like, skin tones and stuff like that. And I think it's gonna turn out great, because right now I only have, like, the the beads placed and, like, ironed and finished. But after I'm gonna get myself, like, a canvas and, like, paint a gray palette along the canvas, or a gray gradient, sorry. I'm just gonna put the gray gradient along the canvas and then mount the art to it, just because I think that will just further make that piece just absolutely beautiful. And that is an original pattern. I took a different image and used a one of the websites that lets you convert it down into a perler art pattern. And then I made some further tweaks from there, so it's not exactly the pattern that I got off the website, but I'm so happy with it. I'll throw a picture on screen while I'm talking about it. I'm sure it's already been up there. But I'm very happy with it. after I finished that, and I ironed it all, and I showed it to my partner. They called me an artist for making it, and it was one of the first times that I really, like, actually felt that and was like, oh shit, I made that, and like that's art, and I should be proud of that. And I am. So I mean, I'm happy about that, and I'm happy that I have, a partner that cares enough to make me actually think that. Um, so that's been really nice. And so I just kind of wanted to talk about what I'm doing, because I think the plan from here is that going forward, I'm going to try and continue daily uploads, but I want to make them much less edited. If we're going to be doing daily content, and I'm going to be doing, all the work, which I'm happy to do, I need to not make it an unreasonable amount of work, because I don't want to burn myself out. I want to make awesome stuff. I want to make more Valheim the Raspberry edit videos. I really want to do that, and I'm going to. But I need to do it at the right pace. I need to do it at the pace that I'm comfortable with, because the only way to do this right is to do this at whatever speed that I need to do it, where I'll keep going and I'll keep doing this and I'll keep making amazing content, because I love this, and I really don't want to burn myself out on this. Because even the first time 10 years ago when I was making videos, and I literally did not edit a single thing, just purely record for hours, get massive sessions, take the raw videos, rename them so that they had like this episode, that episode, next episode titles, and then just upload all of them all at once. And even that, like, I somehow I managed to burn myself out on that. So I guess I went to my last the last video I put out, and it's like an update video. And I did say in that like it was because I had life stuff going on, and I have no idea what that was. I couldn't tell you, but I honestly have no idea what life stuff was going on with me 10, 11 years ago. But I did not have the most normal, stable childhood. It wasn't exactly the most pleasant thing. I don't talk to my parents, and that's for a good reason. And so I really hope that nothing like that's gonna happen again, and life is just gonna look up from here, and we're just gonna make great content, and everything's gonna be great. That's what I want. That's what I hope for. And every day, I'm trying. I'm trying to make that happen. So, that's all I can do. So, already, I've sat here and rambled long enough. I don't wanna just put too much filler in here. But yeah, no. So if you're still here, thank you. I appreciate you. Just being here, listening to me ramble. Because it's not always the most coherent thing always, but it is what it is. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope to see you next time. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell, and have a good day, I guess.